the Kogi State assets because it's in Kogi State, right? And so much is expected of the Kogi State government. In view of this, are they playing to the gallery as well? Well.
February, the area council elections will take place across the FCT. This election is about your future, not violence. Come out calmly. Stand in line peacefully. Vote without fear. Exercising your vote is your civic right. Use it responsibly. Choose peace. Choose progress. Choose the future you deserve. This message is brought to you by the National Youth Council of Nigeria.
Now I can recoup back all the money I have spent on this annoying family.
Yeah, that woman own don't finish.
My dear, let's go and greet them. Okay?
Hey! Join media collation and awareness to hold trafficking, MICAs, on I Wish I Knew radio drama and program every Saturday at 10 a.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. Join us to kick human trafficking out of our society. I Wish I Knew radio drama and program is brought to you by MICAs.
Company still having some sort of remuneration from the federal government, and Nigerians are really worried about this, and questions being asked. Well, what will be your thoughts on this? I mean, the idea, the 26 billion naira federal allocation to a Moribund plant is still being funded, fielded, sent to the same one plant that from 1979 has not even produced one steel. What would this have meant for the Nigerian economy? Should that plant be working? 073530044. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Odua.
Good morning to you, Chimeze. I'm fine. Where are you calling from?
Yeah, I'm Chimeze, calling presently from Gwagwalada.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, I must commend your doggedness and your ability to source out good resource persons,
right,
on your program, and I pray that you are sustained and the Nigerian factor does not happen to you.
Amen.
Please,
to that.
Don't be hunted down. Do not be afraid. Speak out so that Nigerians know actually what they are going through. Concerning Ajaokuta still, if you remember over times, I have called if it has to do with NMPC. I told them from day one, once they started, they have started working, they did this, I called them in clear terms. NMPC is not working. It's fraud. They are turn around, renovation, maintenance, complete overhauling are all shrouded in mysterious fraud. I took again to Ajaokuta Steel to tell them there are things you put into consideration. Politically, I believe Ajaokuta Steel is wrongly cited. Politically, it is wrongly cited. The resource person can equally correct this. You are budgeting money, 26 billion naira. It's for them to steal this money. They know that nothing is happening. They have allocated 26 billion for them to steal, probably use it for re-election. We don't have a system that punishes corruption. I remember towards the beginning of this administration, I still have the picture, I just brought it out. You have pictures of Russians with some state federal government dignitaries posing for picture in front of Ajaokuta Steel. Russians, I repeat, of recent, telling us that it's bouncing back, it has been till tomorrow. You can point to a pin, office pin, and yes, people work there, they retire, like NMPC that has taken in some workers. I challenge them on air, let them refute it. Okay, Ajaokuta is busy employing, promoting people that contribute not even a shadow to the development of this country. It's very unfortunate we have such a system. Ajaokuta Steel, from there you go to Third Mainland Bridge, Kata Bridge, when maintenance, over-maintenance. Mark what I have told you. That's another avenue to steal money. These people that are responsible, don't we have a minister for steel? Oversight senators? What are we talking about? When we pity this country, this money they are appropriating and stealing, why wouldn't they channel this money to something that is more useful? If you talk about inflation coming down, we are all economists. My brother, if inflation is down, it should reflect on our pocket. If inflation is down, it should be sincere and not on paper. Nothing is still working in this country. You made mention of electricity. Where does it come from? Who is generating it? The waters are dried up. We're experiencing more harsher weather and darkness. Nothing to cool your house or your freezer. It is not done that way. They keep stealing the money. Somebody will come, but let them bear in mind the time of reckoning is almost at hand. These people will wait for mercy, and the law will not show them mercy. The things are much in the country. Thank you very much.
All right, Chimeze right there, giving his thoughts. What would be your thoughts? 0907-353-0044 is the number you should stick to. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you, my brother.
The voice of the one crying in the wilderness.
Turkenby,
My
that
name
is.
Hundu, taking it from National State. Yes,
Right.
I want to especially greet your guest. It's amazing. It's wonderful. It's a patriotic Nigerian. He has passion for this country, and I can see he really wants things to work like just like some of us. I want to also add to what your guest has said. Apart from the fact that the president said if he did not give Nigerians light within 2 years, we should not vote for him. He also said that with the removal of fuel subsidy, refineries will work, and he will even build new ones. That is what the president said. That if he removes fuel subsidy, which Nigerians will suffer and pay with their blood, some will even die, that refineries will work, and he will also build at least one new refinery within 2 years, and we have not seen all of this. But what I want to talk about is that Ajaokuta, as you see, whether wrongly cited or not, is capable of producing even cars, capable of producing spare parts for cars, for motorcycles. Is capable of producing things like grinding machines. Ajaokuta is capable of producing roofing sheets, all kinds of roofing sheets, including step tiles and stone coated. Ajaokuta is capable of producing granite, which I think that one is going on. Granite and tiles, both the bathroom tiles and the ones for living rooms. I think that one, has been going on. But you see, the late President Muhammadu Buhari said it was one of his priorities. But we can see that it seems there is something on that seat. They will make a lot of promises, but once they get to that seat, everything will change. I don't know if evil spirits are occupying that seat in the villa. Once somebody get there, all the promises will go down the drain. In fact, Fashola said something that in 2012, he said any government that cannot give steady power supply within 6 months, that government is not serious. And Fashola came on board, he stayed for 8 years, and there was no light. Thank you.
All right. One person making one statement and doing the other is what Turkenby is saying right there. But here we are, we're still managing, we're still trying to maintain a moribund steel company, and it's really, really causing the ruckus. Now, I got a couple of messages coming through. Let's just take these ones as quickly as we could, just before we get to hear from Comrade Gerald Okachi. Now, Kalu, all the way from Lagos, is saying no Nigerian can visit Ajaokuta. See investment of more than $8 billion rotting in the African sun and not cry. All right. It says this one is coming from Aisha. Now Aisha is in Lagos too as well. Said spending billions annually on maintenance without a clear path to production is fiscal irresponsibility. So Ibrahim is also sending this one now. Ibrahim, you are in Abuja. It says over 6 billion naira in salaries for a factory that has not produced a single steel billet in recent years. That is not development. Right. Now, I don't know. I'll just leave it there. But okay, I think I should take this one. Olamilekon Adegbite saying, as in Ogun State, says, we are committed to reviving Ajaokuta through a public-private partnership model. Okay. And, no, that's not very clear. All right, but anyways, let's go hear from you, comrade. Comrade, sorry for that little glitch that went down, but I'm glad we are here already. You heard Nigerians talking. Nigerians are talking seriously. Family members are really talking. I mean, and it's like penny wise, pound foolish when we think about this. But I've got one very serious question that I'm sure is on the lips of many Nigerians this morning. Now, one of such would be, why hasn't the government sold or leased Ajaokuta to private investors? Because quite a number of many of Nigerians and family members believe that, look, if this is not working, you cannot manage it. Why not give it to the hands that can manage it? Why do you think?
I think his interest, you see, a lot of family members have contributed and said a lot of things, you see. Ajaokuta was not destroyed by his location. It was destroyed by indecision, politics, and inability of the Nigerian state to finish what he started. And you ask why, we have not been able to concession this. That is politics, In the last general election, when we heard the likes of former vice president, one of his own campaign promises, he said that he will privatize most of this, including our refineries. Many, came heavy on him. They blamed him for a lot of things, including these power challenges we are facing. But everything that have disadvantage have also advantage. So we must see merit and demerit in everything. I think one of the major issues we have faced with regards to Ajaokuta is political influence. Economically, they made it expensive by governments to fail. And that because we have not really, embarked on the consequences for bad behavior. If we begin to do that and review some of it was in this country that MD upon MDs of NNPC will come. They will flare gas. They will tell us refinery have started working. Before you know it, they will give one stories. They continue the turnaround maintenance. They will tell you they have upgraded. They will do a lot of stories and stories and stories and stories. If it were to be in a communist country like China, many of them will be stoned to death in public. But before you know it, they start playing politics. If you ask too many questions, they will jump into a position and start claiming that you are a vendetta or victimizing them for being in opposition. We have seen it, repeating itself. Is it that we are struggling to have political will to actually face this? Our children are watching. We are also watching. The youth are watching. It will come to a point, just like you are seeing issue of continuing protest, even when National Assembly have concession partially, with regards to electoral acts. The Nigerians will not believe, because why you see protest, Nigerians will not believe, because why you see protests continuing at National Assembly demanding that the real-time uploading must be inserted in that electoral act. It's because they have declared that they have no time for court again. This one, they have no, if you finish manipulation, you tell them go to court. Meaning that they are losing faith in the system, which can lead to country being declared a failure. Because when you lose faith in the system, whether your judiciary or security, or what you will hear again, okay, you lose faith in the system, whether your judiciary or security, or what you will hear again, okay, bring this matter to us. Today, we are facing more of technicalities than Ajaokuta today, which I think that's the only way we can find solution to all of this. We either concession it or we shut it down completely, which I don't think we should consider. One of the major challenges is facing now because of multiple political interests. When we begin to do party in government, yes, this person have supported me, this person, just like what we are seeing now either it's the village boys or city boys doing one or two tweets. You see them rolling out cars that want millions of naira, if not almost billions. And tomorrow they come to your table, you succeed in getting elected. It looks as if morally so whatever you give them and they begin to mismanage it or misbehave, you struggle to call them to question. That's what is happening. So whenever you see party, because that's what you face. They have given a lot of contract to different people, because that's what you face. They have given a lot of contract to different people who are lacking the competence, the capacity to deliver. Indeed, are lacking the competence, the capacity to deliver in different fora of our life. So whenever they face challenges, you struggle to deliver, and when you struggle to deliver, it will come back to the table. They start doing dilly-dally to manage the situation so that they will leave the office and another person will continue to inherit the challenges. So if you concession Ajaokuta today, many people will go to court, including foreign firms, whether it's China or Russia or what have you. So that is the wickedness we have found ourselves. You saw what happened with previous other contracts we have engaged in, like the CMS contracts, the Halliburton, and the rest. Some are still in court today. Some are in UK, some are in US. Some we have gotten favorable judgments. Some have gotten judgments against us, and some are still in court.
And we're still adding more.
So I guess these are part of the challenges we are facing. If only we can have a very sincere people, leading us at the National Assembly, they can restructure these things. If we restructure it using constitution, it will reduce legal challenges. But whenever you see them, you ask for them to restructure, they will begin to, put, flexible clauses that will enable them to, find their way back to make the country dry. And these are some of the genesis things that cause legal disputes.
Right, but
so I think we either privatize it, or through privatization, or go into PPP, or even lease it for at least 30 years to people that can really run it, or we shut it down. We can't continue to, find excuses for failure, or continue to fund failure.
Yeah,
it doesn't help anybody.
Let me give you some of the stakeholders who have added their voice in this. We have seen Senator Ahmed Badao, Kogi West, Kogi State, Chair Senate Committee on Steel Development. Now, here is a statement. It says the government must stop treating Ajaokuta as a cash cow for salaries and focus on real rehabilitation. This was drawn from Punch, January 2025. In fact, it is emphasizing the need for a shift from payroll to production. Now, we also saw Olamilekan, who's a Minister of Steel Development now. He says we are committed to reviving Ajaokuta through a public-private partnership model. And we have set aside 150 million naira for feasibility studies. This was in March. Vanguard newspaper 2025. So they were signaling a move towards private sector involvement. Now, the Bureau of Public Enterprises BP Director General Alex Oko, who's from Delta State, by the way, says Ajaokuta's assets could be sold to competent investors, but we need a transparent valuation first. I mean, so many people have added their voices, in this matter. In fact, inclusives of Ayuba Waba of Bauchi State now, it says workers at Ajaokuta deserve their wages, but they also deserve a functional workplace. That government must act now. Now, to Yaya Bello at some point in 2025 with the Daily Trust newspaper, May precisely, had said Ajaokuta is a strategic asset for Kogi and Nigeria. We will not allow it to become a ghost town. But isn't it a ghost town already? Because we have seen South Africa's Steel Works, established in 1952. It was state-owned until 1990s, then privatized to ArcelorMittal South Africa. I mean, the transition in itself involved a clear asset valuation, employee share ownership scheme, government-backed debt restructuring. I mean, today it's producing over 5 million tons annually, and it's contributing 1.5% to the GDP. Nigeria is not learning from South Africa. It doesn't seem like we are learning.
And even that South Africa you are talking about, they don't have budgeting from the federal government or their government. They generate what they do, they run it, they concession it. So it's not a situation whereby you begin to bring budgetary allocation. No, that's not the case. They run it just like you see Dangote running his own refineries.
But comrade, do you think we have the capacity to indeed even export steel? Export it to
yes.
countries?
Oh yes. That is if we remove politics from operations, bring capital, technology, and expertise. Earns yearly waste on salaries without output. Government must stop running what it cannot manage. That is why you begin to hear people telling you, using phrases like governments have no business in doing business. Government have business doing business, but then when it comes to situations, that have become corroded with corruption that can even distract governance, you concession it. You say majority or 100% equity, recover part of the sunk costs, redirect funds to productive sectors. It has a lot of advantages if we sell majority or if not 100% equity. It will end physical budgetary allocation that we are facing, transfer it to private sector, forces efficiency and accountability. And that is the political truth. So privatization is unpopular, but continuous waste is worse.
Okay.
We can't continue, allocating budgetary every year. Oh yes, one of our family members talked about those working deserving their wage. What are they working? We can transfer them and they still retain their salaries. It's done everywhere. You can move from one ministry to another, from one agency to another. You move them. We have a lot of places where they can work, function very, very well. Or better still, we can break Ajaokuta into functional units like rolling mills, billet production, downstream fabrication, use locally available scrap steel initially, maybe something like a gradual productivity or early revenue generation or skill revival. Just break it into pieces and concession it. If maybe outrightly giving out the 100% equity will be very, very difficult, we break it.
Okay.
That will stop budget funding. That will stop every year. We will just push billions into that angle. At the end of the day, nothing to show for it. It doesn't tell good.
Okay.
Whereas we have areas that are in their need of revenues that are lacking. Just the other day, we saw a report last week where I think Ministry of Health was reportedly to have a budget in 2025 of capital project of 218 billion. And what was released in the whole calendar year was 36 million. Can you imagine that?
Oh, good Lord.
Can you imagine that?
It's laughable and sad.
You have a budget of 218 billion and what was released was 36 million. That is, if you are beginning to place it into 0.00 something. It's uncalled for. At the same year, it was reported in different fora that media, either SA media or thereabouts, to the president receive over 500 million for his work. How can we move as a people in this kind of situation? So I do not believe that Ajaokuta was wrongly cited. Yes, theoretically you can say that, or practically, but then whether it's wrongly or rightly cited, I think the major problem there is politicization of it,
right?
Influence, and it has shown that it's overburdening the president. I mean the presidency or the federal government of Nigeria. The challenges of Ajaokuta is endless. Let them concession it. The same way they did with the power sector, they do with the telecommunication. The same thing we do with the Transcorp and the rest. Let them concession it.
Okay.
And let's see what will happen from there.
Right. Concession.
Of course, we have Bright Minds, we have GAC, we have Innocent, and many other automobile companies. If they cannot buy it completely, let them, break it down into units and let them take the one they can take.
All right, comrade, can't go any further, but thank you, far too kind. We cannot even exhaust this conversation because I don't know. I lack the words to even put, to think that 26 billion naira is being thrown into a steel company that's never produced steel in one day. It's really saddening, but I'm hoping that with all of the recommendations and the thoughts that we've had here, the government will indeed act fast and act now. But thank you still for adding your voice in the discourse.
Thank you for having me.
Appreciate. Well, that's Comrade Gerald Okachi right there, adding his voice loudly and clearly, and you too have done so. I mean, we will not allow